Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
Jerry here, and here's what happened previously on Jerry. The agents formulate a plan to infiltrate Lisa Terrier's meeting, sending Asa undercover. Gathering attention immediately, Asa poses as a germ who infiltrated immunity. To test her, Lisa has her call her team to the docks. When Quentin arrives, Lisa's demeanor changes and she begs to be let into the pathogen protection program. Pressed for more information, she reveals that Salmonella has been killed by someone called Lazarus, a serious threat to Jerry who wants Lisa dead. As she begs for protection, she's assassinated. And now, back to City of Jerry.
Time seems to slow. Quentin, you can feel your heartbeat in your ears. You wipe your face free of the molecules and membrane of Lisa Terria, who had been begging for protection until her last breath. Maybe you could have saved her if you had gotten there sooner, if you had chosen to take her in for questioning. If. Asa, you are covered from head to toe in muck, grime, and now the viscera of Lisa Terria. What should have been an exciting first undercover mission has ended in a gruesome murder. What remains of Lisa Terria litters this area of the docks, even beneath your shoes. This isn't as glamorous as you may have once thought. Tim, you startle for a moment, wondering if it was your own nervousness that led to a premature shot.
I hate doing premature shots.
How are you so on?
Your fingers shaking slightly on the trigger of your rifle. Sweat beads across your brow. You've seen some fucked up shit. You've had clients who were germs and bacteria and even viruses. You've seen drunken fights break out at the club. You've even witnessed old cells surrender themselves to be recycled. But you've never witnessed cold-blooded murder. Sarge, the sound of the shot over the receiver echoes with the sound of the shot closer to you than you expected. Your shaking hands lower your blaster, and your breath shudders as you look to make sure Quentin and Asa are safe, and then process Lisa Terria's last words as you look around. Lisa was right. Someone wanted her dead. Screams snap you back to attention. The screams of teenage cells running from gunshots, the screams of the muscle cells, germs, and bacteria as some scatter, and some begin to rear up to fight you off, Quentin and Asa. The gunmen must be nearby, and immunity should be here soon. What do you do?
Agent Quarantino, are you okay?
Quarantino's just gonna look for where the shot rang out from and probably start moving towards it.
While all of this is happening, Benedict immediately starts bolting towards the two of them because he knows they're the most exposed, and is going to be firing shots into the air just to try and get people to scatter and hopefully not pile up on them.
Okay, great. We are entering conflict, so Sarge acts first. You run down the pier of the docks towards Quentin and Asa, firing your blaster into the air as you go. The teenage couples that had been kind of fooling around the docks have effectively scattered.
Use protection!
Okay.
Finally!
There are a couple of muscle cells and germs that are rearing up against Asa and Quentin and approaching them as they did not see Lisa die. So for all they know, Asa and Quentin killed her. Quentin, as you look around, you see on a really tall building, about 50 feet from the docks, that same black cloaked figure turn around and go out of sight.
I was gonna try and see what direction the bullet came from so I could see if the attacker was still there.
As you ask Quarantino if he's okay, you see his eyeline lock onto something, and you see it too, as the cape of a cloaked figure billows and then disappears.
Do I get any sense of what kind of bullet hit her?
You begin to look around at the scene. You see that this is most definitely a rifle shot of some kind, but small spikes litter the ground. This bullet was rigged to explode inside of her as well. As you look around, Quentin, towards the gunman, this is precisely when a muscle cell approaches you. Full success. As your attention is on this gunman, all of a sudden a huge muscle cell pulls your arms behind your back. Your spike protein gauntlets are ripped from your arms and thrown to the floor as he begins to take you towards the marina of the docks.
He didn't do anything.
Release me.
Tim's following the action of what's been going on, continuing to look through the scope of his rifle. He will go ahead and fire a shot off at the muscle cell, not intended to kill, just intended to
Sure.
Only maim or seriously injure.
Right. I love it. I love
Tim
it.
says that out loud as he looks through the scope.
Go ahead and roll harm.
wolf. That's a 3.
Do you have
Failure.
good luck? Because I gave everyone good luck last time, and I think Quentin was
Right, we have good luck on our next roll.
Yeah.
I do
okay.
think Tim had not rolled
I had
yet.
not rolled. Yay!
I promise I'm helpful.
Alas! The second roll was a 2. I'll stick with the 3.
You fire off this shot, but by the time it gets to this muscle cell, he has pulled Quentin.
Oh no.
And Quentin, you get shot in your leg and you take a wound.
Damn these shaky hands.
Do we all see him get
Oh,
shot?
absolutely you do. But
Sergeant-
before you can act, you immediately hear bum, bum, as an alarm of sort echoes throughout the docks.
And I don't know the words, but it goes.
Sergeant Dryll sees Lisa get killed.
Yeah.
Quentin gets shot.
Yeah.
The alarms go off,
That's
and he
right.
goes, "We're surrounded! Retreat! Retreat! Lethal force activate!"
The ferryman, Keloid Jones, all of a sudden, seeing this fighting, just bellows, "All aboard! Zippers down, folks! All aboard!"
Oh my god.
The thugs that are trying to scramble look at each other and begin to jump into the marina. If bacteria and germs make contact with Jerry's urethra, that's a one-way ticket to pain and infection for Jerry.
Oh, poor Jerry.
If swept up in the current and urinated out, those germs and bacteria can survive outside of this body. You all, save for Quentin, would not. As these muscle cells begin to crowd into the water, the muscle cell holding Quentin jumps in with him.
Yeah, I point my finger gun at him and I whisper, "Bang!" And I'm just gonna try and stun him so he can't jump in the water with Quentin.
Excellent. Love it. Roll harm.
That's a 2.
I'm getting shot.
I'm sorry, you guys. Asa, as you go bang, because Quentin is strong and is trying to rustle out of this grip, he moves at the last second and you get a shock through your body, Quentin. And you will have, I will say, bad luck on your next turn.
Okay.
And Asa, that ability gets exhausted for the night.
Oh, he's gonna hate me.
Thinking that we are surrounded by
Yeah.
the commotion, you see Sergeant Dryll had the plasma blaster out, but you see he actually sheathes it and pulls out the blade of mitosis.
Okay.
As it kind of hums to life with this like orange glow. And then he's gonna look and he's gonna say, "Team, hold your fire! Stop shooting at Agent Quarantino!
Sir, yes, sir.
Use range fire on those trying to enter the urinary tract. Agent Dendrite, if you can, I believe it is time for you to shoot me with that shot."
Sir, yes, sir.
And then with the blade humming to life, can I fast enough try and reach Quentin?
You absolutely can, yes.
Fantastic. How many other like germs and thugs do I see in the vicinity?
There were at least 30 at the meeting, and at least half of them have jumped into the marina.
So there's currently about 15 like in the urine right now.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to run up, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and slice straight through the guy holding Quentin to free him.
Excellent. I love it. Roll harm, please.
I will use my luck that Asa gave us on this
Absolutely.
one.
Man, I hope it works for somebody.
Yeah.
8?
Mixed success. Your strike is true. You stab your blade into this guy, and it definitely deals damage, but you have trouble taking it out, and he is not dead. And he looks down at you, and you hear,
Fantastic, but does he let go of Quentin?
no.
Well, I'm gonna look over and I'm gonna assume there is like a captain on the boat, right? I'm gonna look at him, blade still in one hand, reaches into like chest compartment, opens it to show the immunity badge, and says, "You!" like as I'm like squaring off with the big guy, and he's gonna go, "I'm an agent of immunity. I need you to surrender this boat and remove all civilians immediately."
And I need you to make a heal check.
Okay, I have addictive substance, so all successful rolls in conversation become criticals.
Yep.
8.
That becomes a critical success. The commotion has kind of created a churning in the water, a little bit of waves. As he squints and sees your badge, he gives a thumbs up and begins to take the boat closer to the shore. And you see civilians screaming now at this point as they see what's happening, begin to exit the boat. And he begins to lead them out of the docks.
And then last phrase, I guess this can technically happen as I'm starting my next turn, but I will reach up to like the communicator and I'll say, "Glutus, if you can, keep a clear path to the boat."
I'll do what I can.
Quentin, you can try to get out of his grip now.
Well, maybe he's very no, fuck that.
You will have bad luck, though, because of the shock from Asa.
Sorry.
Sweet, it's an 8.
Mixed success. You headbutt him backwards, dealing 1 damage, and your hit is so hard, you knock him out.
God damn!
Of your backwards momentum, you fall into the water, along with Sergeant Drill's sword.
No!
Well, I need a melee weapon, so
That's true.
I'm gonna try and take it out.
Okay, great. You will need to roll harm for it, because it is really lodged into this thing's muscle.
You put your feet on his unconscious body and grab
Yeah.
it like Excalibur.
Yeah.
That's a critical fail right there.
You grab it by the blade.
The blade breaks as you try to bring it out. I'm so sorry.
Damn, Golgi. And I just throw it in the water.
I've been requested to maintain a clear path. Is there anything in the way?
There are other germs and cells. Now that the boat is coming to shore, you see some of them begin to beeline for it.
Okay. From my vantage point, I'm gonna fire off a couple of rapid shots ahead of the crowd to try to prevent them from, like, approaching the boat.
Yeah, so roll harm for that.
That's a critical fail.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
All we do is lose, no matter what.
You fire too quickly and your weapon overheats and deals a wound to you as it, like, explodes almost.
Jesus.
Oh, that's dreadfully uncomfortable.
As we enter a new round, Asa, that germ that you had threatened with your blade when the fighting broke out earlier approaches you from behind and is going to try to grab you to take into the water with him.
Fair enough.
Mixed success. He grabs you, and you do go tumbling into the water, but not before you elbow him, and he takes a damage.
I'm just gonna do everything I can to get out of there.
Okay.
I can't be in this water. This water is bad.
I would say this is a heal roll, as you are trying to help yourself, and you have bad luck, so roll heal with bad luck to try to climb out of this water.
Okay, it's a 5. Oh, no, 5 was the first roll, and I have a +2 to heal, so it's a 7.
Yeah!
You begin to swim to the pier, and you make it, I'd say, about halfway out of the water before you feel a shot in your back as that germ in the water is now trying to shoot at you to get you to fall back in. You take 1 wound.
Well, that's gonna go to my armor.
Sarge and Tim, you have an opportunity to act.
So you just hear as Sergeant Dryll like shoves his way on board the boat and is immediately like, whether everyone is off or not, he's gonna be yelling, "Get off, get off, get off!" But like will not wait.
Okay.
And as he gets to the wheel, he steers it so that it's facing in the direction of like the center mass of the most of the thugs that are trying to get into the urinary tract.
Okay.
And then just full speed ahead, let it go on its own. He's not going to actively drive. He's just letting it move in the direction as he rips open the panel underneath, and he is going to try to jerry-rig some sort of explosive on the boat.
That's sick.
Jerry rig.
Okay, I love this energy. I guess how are you trying to just pull wires in a precarious way, or are you
I'm trying
to put something?
short it and like whatever the equivalent of fuel is. Like I'll find the ATP tank and I'll try and get like the spark set so that it'll ignite.
Roll a harm roll to pull this panel forcefully off.
Jerry got my hand. And let's see.
In this life and the next.
9.
Full success. You are yelling these cells to continue to get off. The conductor, although very confused as to why you're suddenly on his boat, trusts in immunity and begins to guide more people off. Everyone makes it off the boat.
Hell yeah.
You pull this panel off, and it takes quite a bit of effort on your part. And immediately you begin pulling wires. You find a tank, you open it, it smells like money, so it must be also ATP, and you just begin to pour it all over.
Capitalism is a poison!
The only thing missing is the igniting.
Do I see any DNA or RNA strand ropes lying around the dock?
Where the boat comes onto the docks, there is RNA strands to keep it tied up that you can certainly pull off.
Great. Tim is gonna rush over and grab one of these RNA strands and toss it in. Who seems like they're most progressed to getting out?
I would say Asa is the closest to getting out, and someone is actively shooting at her. Quentin is a little bit further away, but the guy he was fighting is passed out.
Since there's an active threat on Asa, I think I'll go for Asa.
That'd be cool.
I'm not even going to make you roll. The act of putting the rope out for her is going to give her good luck on her turn next round.
Incredible.
As Tim flings the rope out for Asa to grab onto to begin to climb out, Quentin, you are in the water. You are a turn away from the edge of the pier, but there are germs and muscle cells all around that are swimming out of Jerry.
Technically, headbutting this guy, even though he's passed out now, was a successful attack, right?
Yes.
I wonder if I could use viral replication to hijack him. I want to use the big, strong guy to help me get out of here.
Totally. I'm going to give you good luck because he is passed out.
The sword broke off, but Quentin will still use like the broken sword and trying to jam it into this guy's head and hijack his nucleoli.
Love it.
Oh, critical 12, whatever. Yes, natural.
For a second, when you said critical, I thought you were going to say, oh, critical fail.
The good one.
My heart stopped.
Crit! So as this is happening, Asa is being assisted by Tim. Sergeant is jerry-rigging this boat. You turn around and with this jagged sword, just stab into this guy's brain. Although passed out, you see immediately his eyes roll to the back of his head.
I would like to ride his shoulders.
Oh my god.
And just have him swim with his super muscles and get us out of here.
Absolutely. Sergeant Dryll, so you are on the boat and you are heading towards this clump of thugs in this water, and you turn and you see Quentin has stabbed the hilt of the sword into this guy's head and is standing very, very triumphantly, almost like he's holding on to like a flagpole, as this muscle cell just very mechanically swims to the pier and begins to pull him out.
The guy is swimming, but he's also snoring.
Yeah, basically. As you are getting pulled out, Asa, this guy is gonna try to shoot at you one more time.
My God.
We're on the same side. I didn't try and kill her. I didn't try to kill her.
Critical success.
All right.
You take 2 wounds as I don't know how much armor you've got.
That's the rest of it.
It is such a precise shot that you hear as your armor breaks.
That's okay.
Cease and desist.
So it breaks. That's fine. It was too big for me anyway. Can I climb out? Can I get out of the water?
Roll another heal check with good luck because Tim is assisting you with this rope.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, my pleasure.
That's a 12, but not natural.
But it still becomes a crit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You get shot and your armor melts away, but it actually makes you lighter, making it easier to climb out. So couple that with the rope that Tim is offering, and you get on the pier. Your pulse is racing, but you are no longer in the water.
Do I have time to check my backpack?
I think you could definitely check your backpack.
Is the thing that I'm concerned about okay?
The thing you are concerned about is okay. The armor had protected it.
Good. I clutch my backpack and I'm going to run. I want to try and scoop up the bullet as evidence.
Okay, who wishes to act?
I mean, Sergeant Dryll was definitely trying to get that spark going.
100%. How are you gonna do it?
I'm guessing, like, as he opens the panel of the boat,
Yeah.
there are wires, but not wires as we know them. Wires as in, like, neurons.
Yeah, membrane
and
wires.
so he's trying to, like, I don't know, he pulled out some potassium dust and is trying to get, like, some action potential going.
So roll a harm roll.
Come on. 7.
You are successful, but immediately.
No.
Yep.
As Asa, Quentin, Tim, you are on the pier, and you turn around, and there is a gigantic explosion. Thugs, germs, splattered. Sergeant Dryll is shot out and lands in the water. Sergeant, you will take 5 wounds.
Coño, bro!
You are in a bomb!
You're right. I mean, you're right, but holy shit. I thought most of you were going to be like some critical damage.
Nah,
oh,
dude.
Fuck.
You were there. You were in the bomb.
Question.
Yes.
I have capsule.
Okay.
My outer coating grants me 1 armor that prevents me from taking critical damage. How would that apply in this situation?
It blocks 2.
So, as it explodes, like in slow motion, you see like the explosion coming out and obviously hitting Sergeant Dryll first. Mm-hmm. So, it like scorches and burns away the plasma armor as he gets sent flying up with the force, but because he's in the boat, he hits like the roof and falls back down, hits the ground of the boat. You see his outer armor, like his pink and yellow capsule, begin to crack and get battered, but the explosion is still growing, so as he hits the deck of the ship, that fire sweeps him out above the water, as you see an entire section, I guess let's say like upper right, like shoulder area, where the entire capsule is just gone as he begins to dissolve, taking 1 wound and plunges into the water. And I don't know if he's unconscious or awake or what. But
I will say, so you have 1 wound effectively, but you need to be woken up as you have been battered by this.
And having the 1 wound, you see the pink Benadryl like substance rapidly dissolving out of his body into the water.
And you all watch as he floats, but his face is still in the water. But all of the thugs that were in the water previously were also caught by this explosion.
I have so much I'd like to do. I mean, Quentin's probably better equipped to handle this situation.
So the ability I used, I only rolled a 1, so I guess I lost control of my muscle cell.
As you get onto the pier, you step off it, and although this jagged edge of the sword is in this muscle cell's brain, and although you had really battered him, he regains lucidity and punches you in the face, Quentin. You take 1 wound.
Yeah!
I love this game.
Asa, you are able to quickly retrieve the bullet. In so doing, it is very disturbing as you have to step in Lisa.
I think right now Asa is so scared for the safety of her second mentor that, like, she's, like, numbly, like, reaching through viscera like it's nothing.
You retrieve the bullet and a couple of the spikes that it looks like had exploded outward upon impact. Tim, you stand rope in hand. Asa is safe. Quentin has just been punched in the face, and Sergeant Dryll is floating face down in the water.
Tim will take the RNA strand and fashion a lasso out of it.
Okay.
Whirl it overhead and cast it out to try to grab Sergeant Dryll.
That will definitely be heal.
3.
You fasten this knot, no problem. You've had a variety of clients with a variety of different tastes. You fasten this rope very easily, but as you throw it out, it comes short. It lands in the water, and you have to drag it back out to try again. Sergeant Dryll, you take one more wound as you begin to breathe in this water, being face down.
Damn it all to Jerry's bowels!
The head, because Sergeant Dryll has that Buzz Lightyear, like, helmet, kind of. And you see the head inside, like, growing gaunt. It's almost like he's deflating as he dissolves in the water.
Yeah. As the water becomes lower and lower tide, Sergeant is getting pulled out, and you don't know how much longer that zipper's gonna be down.
This next attempt was a 6.
Mixed success.
Okay.
You throw the rope out, and it does attach to Sergeant, but it's against the tide as it begins to kind of whirlpool. You cannot pull him back in without help, likely.
I need your assistance, please.
Can I run and give assistance? My next bet was going to be to jump back in the water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Quentin, as you are up to bat against this muscle cell that has regained lucidity, you see a blur run by you as Asa, now no longer impeded by that heavy armor, quickly just zips over to Tim to try to help. I'm gonna have you roll heal now, Asa, and roll with good luck as Tim is pulling with you.
That is a 7.
You begin to pull together, and he gets closer, but he is not fully to the pier.
Deceptively heavy.
My arms are really weak, but I'm really good at typing. I can type so fast, I promise.
You see that the helmet starting to fill with water.
That's right.
Inside.
If we don't do something soon, those typing skills are going to be used to type up a lovely little eulogy.
Oh, please don't say things like that.
Quentin, what do you do?
Well, I'm fighting a fucking brute, so I can't let him hit me anymore. I'm gonna try to use neutralize.
Okay.
If I attack him, I can stop him from hurting me.
Go ahead and roll harm.
Agent Quarantino, I have an extra weapon here. And I pivot really funny so that you see my sword. Like, I was gonna try and get 3 of them and do like a 3-sword styles thing, but now that seems really like unrealistic.
Okay, I understand. Just let me have it.
Go for it.
I did not realize your hips don't lie.
My hips have lied for so long.
That's a 5.
You slice towards this guy, and you effectively slice him in half. But he is so tall and so heavy that he falls on you, crushing you slightly and dealing 1 wound.
Tim, I think all I do is hurt people.
It's okay, baby. Hurt people hurt people.
Oh, my Jerry. I just can't let 3 mentors die. This would be so bad for my psyche.
New round begins.
Yep.
You take 1 wound, Sergeant Dryll.
You see the helmet finish filling with water as, like, the pill part of Sergeant Dryll, which is, like, I guess, like, the flesh, like, enough of it has dissolved that there's, like, a hole near his neck, and you see water just start gushing forward and fully filling the helmet as he grows gaunter and gaunter. The water starts turning pinkish as his particles are dissolving into it, and he is dying.
Tim, we gotta pull him out. Once we get him out, I can heal him. We just gotta get him out.
All right. It's time. Come on, muscles. I know we skip arm day sometimes, but let's pull with our legs.
Pull with your legs. legs.
Pull with your glutes.
And I'm going to grip the rope between my ass cheeks.
There we go. There we go.
And then I'm just going to start rotating around to like reel it in like you would like a...
You're a winch.
Yeah, a winch.
Incredible. I am going to give you double good luck for this and for Asa's help as you use your strengths to your advantage right now.
This is so stupid.
We're not gonna let you die.
I rolled a 12, baby!
Let's go! Critical success! In this maneuver, Quentin, you are being crushed and your vision blurs as you look to the side and you're like, what the fuck? As you see Tim Glutus spinning with the rope in his ass, and it is essentially a fishing line pulling Sergeant Dryll to the edge. Sergeant Dryll is on the pier now, dying still, but out of the water.
Can I use my action to do the cellular rejuvenation kit?
Absolutely.
I'm just like, oh, this is so fucked up because you were supposed to use this on me and like save my life, and now I'm gonna use this on you and like save your life. Oh god.
Just throw it!
Okay! And I do the cellular rejuvenation kit. Please work, please work, please work, please work!
Come on, Jean. What are you doing? She's happy. She's got a boyfriend. You need to move on. Okay.
But I love you so much, baby. I love you too.
I feel like I can talk to you about anything, especially the bonus content from my favorite podcast.
Hi! Welcome to the Mitochondria Grill. Just you today?
Yep, just me.
Hi, I'm Alil. I'll be your server today. How are you?
How am I? You know, Alil, I'm not good. I'm really lonely. I mean, I have my close friends, like Jerry Benetatos, Queso Loco, Greta and Beignet, Alex Scapes My Ass, Ace Andrews, Regina Russell, Sam Olivos, Jordan Cobb, The Unnamed Rogue, NB Star, Doubtful Guest, Michael Richters, Davis Walden, Denny Dewdrop, Myth Mouse, Callie Wolf, Brandon M. Bishop, Bridge, Twiglets, Joanna, Stan Sitzman, Scrambles the Death Dealer, Aaron Adams, Nathan Mesner, Drew Thanatos, Melissa Rain, Hensational, Butts Aplenty, Normally Me, Dane Koholf, Loon, Faust the Heavenly Demonic Monster, David Carlton, Tracy Baby, Elastic Band, Hoodie Gang Sheep, Luke Vermin, MV Carr, Vico Cocorico, Alyssa Barron, Jan, Scottish Alpaca, Kiara Bouye, Wayward Scientist, Chibs1012, and I just made another friend, Kyle Decker. But they have their own lives, their own hobbies. All I have is bonus content available now at patreon.com/Drimbus. Gosh, their after the show after the Drimbus is such cool insight into the show, and outtakes are hilarious, but Drimbus can be even better shared with a loved one. Like, I have the most recent outtakes here. Have a listen?
Dog, what? I'm already incensed.
I can't believe we got Cult of Jerry before Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay, I have used my one use of before Grand Theft Auto 6. I can't
No, I think you're allowed a couple more. It's just gotta be once per session.
Okay, cool, because I do it a lot.
It's gonna be real awkward if... When is the release? It's this year, right?
Yeah.
But when?
Supposedly.
That's a good question.
I think this will drop before. I think this will drop first.
That would be funny. I hope it does. I hope it does for the joke's sake.
It's 2019. We got a while.
Isn't
it great? And you can watch it all at patreon.com/Drimbus. Right. So what would you like to eat today?
Right. I'll have the pizza molecule.
And I do the cellular rejuvenation kit. Please work, please work, please work, please work!
Sergeant Dryll, it works, but it is painful. as the water is forcefully expelled from your lungs and the injuries from the fire and impact forcibly reform themselves. But you are safe.
It's like the water is shooting out because, it's like a dissolved tablet, so
Yeah.
it's porous now. So water's like shooting itself out. He dries, you see some of those holes begin to fill up, and then he turns over and presses the button on the side of his helmet to open the the dome, and all the water just splashes out onto the deck, and he goes, "Oh, Jerry. Oh, good Jerry.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My idea was bad. My idea was so bad.
That could have been worse."
Us just gonna hug him and sob.
Sergeant Dryll, again, in one of those moments where he's like, I don't know what the correct action to do is going to hug Agent Dendrite and be like, "You did all right. You did good. It's okay."
Oh yeah, I guess Quentin's in trouble too.
And then Sergeant Drill's like, there is a crying person. I don't know whether to let go, but there's also a suffocating person. So we'll instead, continue the hug, but start moving.
I'll give him something else to suffocate on.
God damn it, Tim.
And I'll waddle over and try to push the big muscle cell off with my ass cheeks.
Excellent. Please roll heal with good luck. And as this happens, you hear the customary sirens of your backup arriving.
11.
You pull this muscle cell off of Quentin. Quentin, you can breathe again. And a couple of things happen all at the same time. The marina fully empties. The zipper back up, and the alarm ceases sounding. Immunity arrives, sirens and all of their cars surrounding the docks as they get out to help with the threat. And civilians line the docks, whispering amongst themselves as news crews also gather.
While this is all happening, seeing immunity coming, hopefully if Agent Dendrite is okay, Sergeant Dryll is going to let go. If they're still sobbing and collapsed, he will not.
No, I'm fine. I'm an adult. This is what life in the field is like.
He will squeeze one last time, and as he does, will very subtly hit a button on his armor, and this mist shoots out of him, assuming the four of us are all kind of in the same general vicinity.
You are now, yes.
And I will attempt to use fast acting to heal one wound on everyone.
Nice.
That's great. Please roll heal.
7.
Your radius, because it looks like your system is still kind of full of water, you can heal Asa because she is close to you.
Asa doesn't have any wounds.
Over here.
Also smells a nice fragrant mist, but Agent Quarantino inhales the mist, and one wound is lifted off.
It's lemon scented!
Disgusting.
You see Director Thymus wearing big, thick keratin armor. He approaches the docks. What's the situation? I thought it was your day off.
Justice doesn't take a day off.
Apparently not. I heard Lisa Terria was involved in this.
She was.
Yeah, was is the operative.
You need to get a search party on that building right there. Now he points to the one that the sniper was at.
And you see he looks confused and he's like, you mean you didn't do her in?
I was trying to protect her.
He crosses his arms a little bit. All right, hold on. We've been trying to book Lisa Terria for a long time, you understand? This could mean an award for you and your team. If there's a vigilante type, another threat, there's no need to start a panic with the public, all right? I think before we know more, we should try to make it seem like you neutralized a great threat for the city.
I strongly disagree with this course of action. It is important the public stays informed.
I don't think you understand how the city of Jerry might react knowing
If you
there's
want to
someone...
withhold information, that is fine, but my team here is uncovering very potentially detailed conspiracies, and I don't think that actively lying to the civilian population is going to do any good for Jerry's immune defense.
Conspiracies?
Excuse me? Sir?
Yes, Agent. And he looks at you and he sees you covered in grime and he's like, Do I do I even want to ask?
It was the septic serpents, sir. And I'll pull out the bullet that I found. Mm-hmm. This is what was used to kill the victim, and it was rigged to explode, sir. And the nearest Golgi's apparatus was quite recently robbed by the septic serpents of all of their explosives, sir.
But Lisa Terria was part of the serpents. You're not making any sense here.
Benedict will, if possible, very, discreetly squeeze Asa, just to, indicate, be careful.
I don't know, sir. But this is the bullet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not that.
No. If we've got infighting between the serpents, this could be more serious than I thought. I've been instructed by the mayor to not incite a panic. I think we should try to keep this within immunity until we have an answer.
Yes.
Having half an answer is very, very panicking for the city.
Okay, sir, but someone has access to explosives. And
There's more explosives, Agent Dendrite? More of them?
I don't know.
Golgi's apparatus is completely ransacked.
And this should be on your radar. Golgi has reported this, and someone has completely neglected their duty in looking into it.
Golgi's already reported this? He said
Yes.
Golgi needs security. He's being robbed of everything.
that? Nobody tells me fucking anything around here. He looks genuinely upset with this, and he's like, all right, do you have any clue of where they might want to strike? Anything else? Just the bombs are missing?
Director, is there any chance you can get us a list of the people who routinely service this sector of the gut?
You mean community agents or the janitors and stuff?
Anyone who would be responsible for not communicating this information to you.
I can definitely take a look. I mean, we got our messengers, they carry our messages throughout the body and they bring them back. They're supposed to report directly to Frank, who then reports to me, but apparently someone's not reporting to me or Frank. All right. I'll look into Golgi's. The Golgi in the gut, you mean?
Yeah.
I'll look into Golgi's. I'm gonna do a full sweep of that mailroom, see who's not doing their job. Look, you didn't kill her. I get that. But we don't know who might think you did. I think you guys should buddy up and maybe not sleep alone tonight, alright? This is a very high-profile individual. I fear for your safety.
Thank you, Director. I hardly ever sleep alone.
And he he looks at you and he's like, I meant more, other immunity agents.
Oh.
I don't know if your clients are skilled, with self-defense.
Well, I've been working my way through the immunity roster anyway.
All right, I'll look into it. But you guys, you watch yourselves, because immunity at large thought it was you. So whoever else, those reporters, you don't know who...
This got communicated to immunity during the events?
Yeah. We had people watching, apparently. They were calling in. I know that...
And why did no one come in to help?
They were on their way. You're in the gut.
Wait,
you're all the way at the end of the gut.
They were watching, but they couldn't come in to help?
So, no, it was civilians calling in, but I know that Tim called Frank. Frank was on his lunch break. He got through to me as soon as he could, and then everyone was dispatched.
As soon as he could, huh?
That's right. He wasn't in the office at the time of the call.
I don't know. Frank is very selective when he is deciding when to answer to do his job.
Is that right?
It is.
Frank was also supposed to tell you that we went to the wet dream, and there was some miscommunication with that.
Are you insinuating that he's purposefully trying to sabotage immunity?
I'm not saying that he's purposefully, but I would hope this comes up in his next evaluation. I am sorry to... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Frank is not the best at his job lately. Maybe something is going on at home. I don't know.
I do know he lost his wife recently. He's been very, scattered, shall we say.
That being said, there may very well be a mole.
Director Thymus, I don't wish to be too forward, but...
Speak plainly.
Considering what has occurred in the last month or so, 2 major events, I think it would be helpful for my team and I to have a direct line of communication to you.
To me?
Yes.
I think you're right about that, Sarge. I don't give this number out to anybody else. I swear to Jerry, if you sell my number to some kind of company that's gonna be blowing up my phone, I will fire you faster than whoever fired that fucking boat. My Jerry, what happened here? He, finally, takes in the, smoldering remains of the boat, and he's like, all right, look, here's my direct line. I'm gonna figure out what the heck is happening with Goita. Just take care of yourselves, all right? If you can stay together, I would stay together, all right?
Understood.
He, takes you all in. He's like, nice work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dragna.
He's suffering from a brain injury during the traumatic events that just occurred.
All right, well, if you need to, you can go get checked out at the spleen. You know, the docs will treat you for free since you're agents, if any of you need it.
The only one who didn't get hit.
Yeah. But, this is a very high-profile individual, so, I could see there being some extra tips for you guys,
Just the tip.
God damn it.
That's right, Glutus, just the tip. I don't know, I meant what I said. There might be awards about this for you. Good night, all right?
Good night.
Just have a team search that building.
Will do, Quarantino. All right, you guys stay safe out there. And he starts to walk back, and he gets crowded by reporters. Director Thymus, is it true that the threat of Lysateria is over? Is immunity to thank for the sudden deaths of high-profile Septic Serpent members? Would you care to comment on why the investigation at the Wet Dream is still ongoing if the body is not ill, sir? And he, holds his arms out, and he's like, I'd like to personally thank Sergeant Benedict Dryll, Agent Quentin Quarantino, Agent Asa Dendrite, and Agent Tim Glutus for their hard work in neutralizing Lysateria. We can all sleep soundly, knowing they are out there keeping our city and Jerry safe. Thank you, good night, no more questions. And he gets in his car and he drives away.
This isn't right.
Benedict clenches his fists so hard when he says that we neutralize Lisa that you see a crack form in the armor.
As if there wasn't already one.
Yeah.
Great. So we can't trust the director either.
Nope.
Bureaucracy at its finest.
Agent Quarantino.
Yes.
I know I asked you this earlier, but I would like to ask you again, present circumstances considered. Are you sure you do not trust Mr. Polio?
Mr. Polio? He has been fighting for control over the lower extremities of Jerry for some time. We can always have a chat with him, but yeah, I would not put all my trust into him.
I think right now the only people I fully trust are right here.
Since we're having a very sensitive conversation, would you all want to go back to my place? It's not nice. Don't get me wrong. It is not much to look at, but it is in a safe area, and I have a bunch of different locks on my door, and I've got a pull-out bed and a futon. So
I'm sure it's plenty nice, and I would be glad to accept this invitation.
I too would be glad to accept this invitation. However, I do think that we have a certain individual detained at Mr. Quarantino's dwelling.
Shall we pick him up on the way?
It's fine. I'll just head home. You guys deserve to rest. I'll get some more work done.
No.
Agent, I think it best we stick together. Your place or Agent Dendrite's, but I do not think we should be splitting up right now. We have a lot of work to do.
Okay, then I need to head home.
Then we can make a stop by your place before we head to mine. It should be on the way. I unwrinkle my giant map. Yeah, it only adds a minute or two. I don't like the idea of all of us separating right now.
Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Well, let's go get Princess.
Can I look for my disarm spike proteins?
Absolutely, they are on the pier. You can pick them up.
Okay, great.
And as you guys begin to head into your car, you see Immunity's forensics team, essentially. You've got memory B cells on the scene that are analyzing Lysateria's membrane. You have macrophages that are cleaning up the docks of all of the dead matter. And immunity agents kind of putting up keep out signs as they clean up the scene. As you head to Quentin's apartment, Do we hear anything in the truck?
Sorry, I didn't get to use your, the thing you had entrusted me with to use on you in case you got hurt, and I didn't get to you in time.
Agent Dendrite, the only thing I need to fully entrust you to use is your common sense. And I think you did an exemplary job of that.
He's here, isn't he? He's alive.
Yeah. I just kind of thought the first time I was, acknowledged as a detective would maybe be when, I did something good or right, and not, when we get the wrongful credit for an assassination attempt. Well, a successful assassination, but we didn't.
Right. Well, that's not on you, Agent Dendrite. Something is going on here, and clearly we're gonna have to look into this a bit more.
Right.
Trust that in time, people will know you for the contributions you actually made.
Asa just nods and, hugs her backpack to her chest and, stays quiet for the rest of the journey.
I just hope everyone is still together when we get back.
Yep. And as they're driving, you just hear, raspy breathing from...
You pull into the parking lot, essentially, for Quarantino's apartment. And as you get out, you scan your biometric lock on the door, but you open your apartment to a gruesome
God damn it.
sight.
Jerry.
Your window is broken, and hard membrane glass litters the floor. Toby lies on the floor, tied up. What's left of him, at least. Slashes and scratches litter what remains of his outer membrane, his innards splattered on the floor and walls. It looks like he was mauled. As you look towards the bed, you see that your sheets have been shredded, and Sid's body is spread out unnaturally, also littered with those same deep lacerations, and they leak his plasma and proteins. Slowly.
I'm going to my nightstand, and I'm getting my cigarettes.
Yeah. You grab your cortisol cigarettes, and as you approach the nightstand, you hear a weak breath. Help me. And you see Sid's eyes and his mouth floating in his plasma, and it looks like he's not dead yet, but he is fully deconstructed.
Quentin is about to light the cigarette and then drops the lighter. Cigarette falls out of his mouth. He grabs the cellular rejuvenation kit and sticks it into Sid.
You stick it into Sid, and some of his lacerations close, but his limbs don't reform.
Seeing what Quentin is doing, Sergeant Dryll is going to run up and say, "Do you mind?
Do you have another way to help?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he'll reach down and he'll press the button again, and I will try to use fast acting to help Sid as well.
Roll heal.
7 again.
More of his lacerations close, but it seems like because he is a germ, he needs to be reconstructed, potentially by a doctor. What you have done is you have removed his pain, and you have stopped the bleeding, for lack of a better word. You know the spleen doesn't treat germs, but they make exceptions for the pathogen protection program.
And I'll look around and I'll say, "Quentin, do you have a container, something, big bin?"
Okay, so yeah, Quentin will scoop all the bed sheets to put Sid in a knapsack kind of.
Yep.
Throw him over his shoulder.
Okay.
And be like, "Okay, we're heading to the spleen now."
All right.
Yeah, well, I'll start running with him, and as we do, I will put a hand on his shoulder, as we're running, and I'll just say, I'm sorry, I had to make you choose between two objectives. We couldn't have done what we did today without you." And I'll open the stairwell, I guess, for him to run down.
Yeah, I don't know, doesn't respond.
Your tires screech as you drive out of this parking lot towards the spleen. The spleen is on the precipice between the gut and the vitals, and as you approach, immediately it becomes apparent that it is almost overrun. It is the one and only hospital in the body for guided cell division, old cell retirements, and any concerns that do not warrant an immediate life-threatening problem to Jerry. You see as you get out of the truck that the spleen's outer walls are almost swelling with how many people are there. There are couples holding hands and giggling. There are old cells having final moments with loved ones, and cells who appear ill or injured. On top of that, there are cloaked individuals handing out pamphlets. One of them recognizes you, Tim. It's Ethel. Tim,
Ethel, baby. Good to see you, darling.
It's good to see you too. I didn't expect to see you here.
It's always a pleasant surprise to see me.
Of course. Are you okay? You're at the hospital.
Yes, I'm all right. Just here with some new friends. We have someone that needs immediate attention.
Oh my God! Of course. Well, please don't let me get in your way. But well, here, Tim. And she holds out a pamphlet to you.
Okay. I'll take the pamphlet and look at it.
And she, bows and turns away.
Interesting.
And does anyone else look at this pamphlet, or are you going straight to the doctor?
Discreetly, but yeah.
Asa is less discreet about it, yeah.
I'm just getting to the doctor.
You see the Gerinian Church for those seeking strength in times of weakness.
Ethel, no.
Brothers and sisters in plasma, rejoice! The time of transcendence is upon us. Jerry calls for evolution, for the shedding of weak flesh and the embrace of newfound strength. It has the 5 sacred truths. Your current form is but a chrysalis, waiting to emerge. The old ways of existence bring only suffering and decay. Through surrender comes power. Through acceptance comes transformation. Unity comes through shared transformation. To resist change is to deny Jerry's destiny. Morning affirmations. With each pulse, I grow stronger. Fear is the prison of the unchanged. Through surrender comes power. Mind over matter. Signs of the fearful. They cling to their natural state like frightened children to a blanket. They whisper warnings about infection and disease, terms born of fear and ignorance. They tremble at the sight of our strength, calling it symptoms. They huddle in groups, sharing their fears instead of embracing power. They hide behind barriers of antibodies, too afraid to evolve. Guides for approaching the fearful. Show them gentle patience, for they know not their own prison. Share stories of your own journey from weakness to strength. Offer them the peace that comes with surrender to change. Those who resist change do so because they fear their own potential. We offer freedom from that fear. Special note to seekers. The Order accepts all who wish to grow stronger. No cell is too weak, no vessel too damaged. We see your potential, even if others don't. The first step toward power is admitting your current form's limitations. Remember, change is inevitable. Choose to guide it rather than resist it. Join us for private consultations in the Gerinian Churchfront, previously known as the J-Spot. No commitment required. All are welcome.
This has been City of Jerry, a microscopic action adventure. City of Jerry features the vocal talents of Giancarlo Herrera as Sergeant Benedict Dryll, Kayla Temshiv as Asa Dendrite, Michael Pisani as Tim Glutus, Nicholas Benetatos as Quentin Quarantino, TJ Berry as Jerry, that's me, and Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Lazarus. The rest of the world is voiced by your benevolent Jerry God, Hannah Schooner, with editing by Giancarlo Herrera and Hannah Schooner, and sound design by Hannah Schooner. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you all next week. Ooh, sorry about that.
Everything all good?
Me? Well, I'm fine. Maybe I just need to drink more water.
Join the club. So, I was thinking we should start with Professor Emmert's class, because there's the most content to cover there, and the test is on Friday, so...